All right, welcome back to the channel, everyone. It's time to give Dwayne Wade a little love. As much as I talk about him on my channel, I haven't really done anything. If I can remember correctly, I haven't done a video on him directly. So this is a Johnny Arnett video called How Good Was Dwayne Wade Really? And I dig Johnny's content, so shoot him a like. Go check out his channel if you like what you see here. And yeah, let's watch this video together. Let's see how good Dwayne Wade really was. Because I know most of you just remember him with LeBron James. You don't remember who he was before LeBron came to town. Here we go. By the way, I'm jealous because Johnny's got the coolest intro. Coolest intro. I love this.
Dwayne Tyrone Wade. This 6'4" shooting guard was famously nicknamed Flash, and for good reason, as he was remarkably dynamic and a fast superstar during his prime. But just
small context, I'm a Arizona guy, and the Suns are my team. During this era, Steve Nash was my favorite player because he was, he basically brought Showtime Lakers to Phoenix, and it was awesome to watch. But all in all, like when I was looking for the next Jordan, Dwayne Wade was my guy. It wasn't Kobe. Kobe was right there. And it definitely wasn't LeBron. The guy that I saw that had it all was Dwayne Wade. Because D-Wade had the talent, but also he had the willpower and the hunger. Like, this guy wanted to win so damn bad. He would do whatever the hell it took. So anyways, I like D-Wade.
Just how good was he really? Some think Wade is a top 3 shooting guard in NBA history, while others think that that's way overblown.
No, I got him as my number 3.
There's been a debate on who's the greater 2 guard, James Harden or Dwayne Wade.
Oh, get out of here.
So where do I stand on all of this? I vividly remember the ups and downs of Wade's career.
Hey, what has this guy accomplished? And what has this guy accomplished? Stats. Wins.
So I'll do my best to articulate his greatness during his playing days, compared to how he's generally perceived in the modern day. So without further ado, let's get into it. Dwayne Wade was selected in the 2003 NBA draft with the 5th overall pick by the Miami Heat.
And he had his
baby
that
he
young.
Was fully expected to be a talented player within the league. But at the time, almost all of the draft hype and excitement was centered around LeBron James and Carmelo Anthony.
Yes, it was.
With that being said, Wade wouldn't take very long to start putting his name on the map.
And it's funny because it happened naturally for me, just by watching the games. LeBron got all the attention. Carmelo got a ton of attention too, and they both had killer rookie seasons. But the entire time I was watching D-Wade going, who the hell is this guy? Who is he? Because he was doing things as a rookie that, you saw like prime Jordan doing, prime Kobe doing. And it was really confusing because no one was really talking about him yet.
Many people never realized this, but Wade actually played his rookie season as the starting point guard for the Heat, as traditional shooting guard Eddie Jones was operating as his fellow backcourt teammate. As a 22-year-old, Wade had a solid rookie season as he averaged 16 points, 4.5 assists, and 4 rebounds on 46.5% shooting. It is worth mentioning that his assist-to-turnover ratio wasn't all that great, which was one of the first major indicators that he was likely out of position by starting at point guard.
Yeah, he shouldn't have been a point.
Miami made the adjustment.
God damn. By the way, it's either him or Jordan as far as the best the best blocking shooting guard. It might have been Dwayne Wade, but I think Jordan just did it for longer and more consistently. But Dwayne Wade during his prime, for that like 7-year span, blocked the shit out of everybody. I mean, look at him. This is my boy Amari Stoudemire, about to get the shit blocked out of.
At point guard. Fortunately, Miami made the adjustment, as he was then starting as shooting guard for his sophomore season. But that wasn't the only major change for the Miami Heat in Wade's second year.
Oh my God.
In an absolute blockbuster trade, the Heat acquired Shaquille O'Neal from the Los Angeles Lakers, solidifying a contending tandem in Miami.
I love this move, by the way, because at the time I hated Kobe. So, and I was a big D Wade fan, and I really didn't like Kobe at the time. So seeing Shaq go to Miami was awesome for me.
Right as the diesel arrived, Wade conveniently took his game to the next level, as he put up averages of 24, 7, and 5 in his second year in the league. Now the speed and explosiveness of Wade was fully on display, as he was quickly putting everyone on notice.
And assist because he finally had someone to pass to.
That he was one of the best slashers in the game. Along with that, Wade began to stand out defensively, as he's one of the greatest shot blocking guards in the history of the NBA, right there with Michael Jordan.
And he got Kobe again.
Wade has the most blocked shots in NBA history by any player who was 6'4" or shorter. And on
Dude, D-Wade was only 6. I thought he was 6'5". Shit. Might have to give him the edge over Jordan when it comes to blocks because of that. That's a 2-inch of deficiency there. Wow.
Honestly, it isn't even close, as the nearest defender is the Celtics Hall of Famer Dennis Johnson, who was behind Wade by more than 200 blocks. For his career, Wade made a total of 3 All-Defense teams, and frankly, this is one of the biggest reasons why I believe the comparisons to James Harden are so insane.
Yeah.
Because Wade was an all-time great two-way player, while Harden is completely a one-way player, who isn't even elite offensively in the postseason. On the other hand, I
could say the same thing about LeBron. You know, D-Wade was the better player in my mind, better winner, better teammate. He did a lot more that went unrecognized. LeBron just would get those highlight blocks once in a while from behind on a fast break, but he wouldn't actually play solid defense ever.
Season is where Wade made a name for himself and earned the respect of the basketball world. After nearly reaching the NBA Finals in 2005, Wade and the Heat broke through in 2006, squaring off with Dirk Nowitzki and the Dallas Mavericks. After falling...
This is when I knew I had the right guy. I already knew he was that guy, but this series really just put a stamp on it. There was no arguing that D Wade was the man. Yet everyone forgets now. What a damn shame. 3-time champion. And if you guys actually got to see this series, I know you see the names on that team. You see Shaq and Gary Payton and all these guys. Shaq played pretty good, but everybody else was just kind of there. They were doing their jobs. Alonzo was old. Gary Payton was old. You know, this was Dwayne Wade against the world. And D Wade played his ass off and led his team to victory. It was beautiful to see.
Behind 0-2 in the series, Wade went on an absolute tear, leading the Heat to win the next 4 games straight, with some of the greatest finals performances
they were down
of league history. Now, many claim that this series was rigged, due to the insane amount of free throws that Wade shot throughout the series, especially in Game 5, where Wade alone took as many free throws as the entire Mavericks team.
Yeah, I do recall, but I've gone back and rewatched the footage, and that's because Dwayne Wade kept driving to the basket over and over and over again, and all they could do was foul him. They didn't have a choice. Either foul him or he was going to dunk it on your head. So they kept fouling him, and then Dwayne Wade kept hitting free throws.
With that being said, there is the argument that Wade was simply the most aggressive player on the court, 100%. And his constant driving to the basket warranted that many free throw attempts. Regardless of where you stand on this topic, it's indisputable that Wade took his game to the next level when the games mattered the most.
Yep.
And because of this, he was rewarded with his first and only Finals MVP of his career. This was obviously the height of Wade's career as a superstar. But what many people forget is that things were quite rough for him after this point for a couple of seasons. Starting in the 06 to 07 season, Wade started having serious shoulder injuries. After he dislocated his shoulder in February of 2007, it would never stop to be a reoccurring issue that would flare up if he wasn't careful. On top of that, his knee started to become an issue as well, which began to hinder some of his quickness and explosiveness. Following the championship run in 2006, his career turned into a bit of a roller coaster, as he was clearly one of the best players in the league, but he was also missing a significant amount of each season, thanks to his shoulder issues and his knee surgeries. Many people believe these injuries kept Wade from taking his career to the next level, but no one believes that more than Dwyane Wade himself.
Oh, yeah, he never actually, that's the scary thing. He never actually got to hit a true prime because of injuries. But the difference between a guy like him and then like, let's say, Penny Hardaway, Tracy McGrady, and Grant Hill was he got to win that ring before that point, before the injuries kicked in. So his legacy looks a lot different. But those other dudes that I just listed, those were the same kind of guys. Same kind of guys. They just didn't get to win that ring. But yeah, D Wade got to win that ring, and then his body started failing him. But he was still badass. He didn't decline like the other guys did that I just listed, post injuries. D Wade still fought through it because he was young. But one thing I'll always wonder, just like I wonder with T Mac, and I wonder with Penny and Grant Hill, what would that prime have looked like? What would D Wade look like at like 32 years old with a healthy body? Shit.
Who was on record saying that he would have been in the GOAT conversation if it wasn't for the injuries.
Yeah.
After some turmoil, Wade finally had a mostly healthy year, which was the 08 to 09 regular season. And on an individual level, it was almost certainly the greatest season of his career, as he averaged a league-leading 30 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals.
Damn. So despite the injuries, 30 points, 7.5 assists, which is impressive, 5 rebounds, 49% shooting. And that's 08-09. So shortly before LeBron comes into town, he's getting like a re-emerging prime Dwyane Wade.
On 49% shooting. With a subpar supporting cast, Wade was able to lead his team to a playoff berth. And although LeBron James won the regular season MVP that year, many people believed that it should have gone to Wade.
Yeah, he should have won it.
Although he had already pushed through some
at least
career-altering injuries, Flash displayed some of his best abilities this season. Many people have seemed to have forgotten just how great Wade was when it came to finishing around the rim.
Yeah, it's a
Nowadays, a lot of people argue whether Michael Jordan or Kyrie Irving have the greatest layup package of all time. But Wade certainly belongs in that conversation, as his acrobatic conversions were basically a nightly occurrence in his prime. With Shaq's departure long in the past, and with just a mediocre supporting cast, Wade wouldn't be competing for championships again until the 2010 to 2011 season.
That was only 1 year later. Small little tidbit. Kobe Bryant at one point hit up Dwyane Wade, called him up, and was picking his brain on how Dwyane Wade splits the defense. So when he's being double teamed and he's got 2 guys on him, how Dwyane Wade would I'd never seen anybody do it like Dwyane Wade. Kobe kind of did it, but no one was as good as D Wade at this. But he just split him right in the middle, and he goes straight to the basket. But just to say, because Kobe's up there in our top 5. So, he's in my top 3. But, yeah, even Kobe was picking Dwyane Wade's brain. Just saying, D-Wade was pretty damn good, man.
That was when one of the most famous super teams in NBA history took shape. The Big Three Heat of Wade, LeBron James, and Chris Bosh took the basketball world by storm and had championship expectations immediately thrust upon them. Although they got off to a slow start in the regular season, they eventually hit their stride and made it all the way to the 2011 NBA Finals in their first year together as teammates.
I'll always feel kind of bad for D-Wade because, Chris Bosh did his job, but he really, really was at a point in his career where he wanted some help, and he thought LeBron was going to help him. And he didn't really help him, D-Wade was still out there doing all that work. and LeBron was doing a whole bunch of standing around.
Now you all know what happened in those 2011 finals. Dirk Nowitzki and the Dallas Mavericks shockingly upset the Big Three Heat, while LeBron James had one of the worst playoff series of his entire career.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it yet, I recently posted a video, two-parter, covering the fourth quarter of Game 4 of the NBA Finals in 2011 against the Mavericks. And you see LeBron James scoring 0 points in the fourth quarter. 1 rebound, 0 assists, 0 points, 0 blocks, 0 steals. So that guy who just won the MVP over Dwayne Wade, was supposed to help D Wade out. Instead, dude, you could have got somebody out of the fucking, back then it was the G League. You know, you could have got somebody out of there to help him out a lot more and been more successful. Because LeBron was just standing around and pretending like the ball was a hot potato. Anyways, go watch that video if you haven't. Those 2 videos, because it's pretty interesting to watch that whole fourth quarter.
But here's the thing. Guess who was easily the best player on the court during that series? It obviously wasn't LeBron.
Nope.
And regardless of the fact that he was the finals MVP,
It was D-Wade.
It wasn't Dirk Nowitzki either. The player who stood out with the best individual numbers was clearly Dwayne Wade.
Yeah.
And if LeBron James had just had...
It was D Wade and then Dirk and Chris Bosh and then Jason Terry, of all people. And then you got LeBron all the way at the tail end. And yeah, that was sad.
Had a regular performance by his standards, then Dwayne Wade would have 4 rings and 2 finals MVPs in his career, rather than 3 and 1. This was the only season where it was a debate on whether this was Wade's team or LeBron's. After that, the Heat went on to win 2 championships in the next 3 years, as they made it all the way to the NBA Finals in all 4 years of the Big Three Heat's existence.
Excuse me. That was a big difference, too. Because going back and watching that footage. All right. So 2011, LeBron did not support Dwayne Wade. You know? Like his role, both of these guys' role, was to help this guy win. Because he's already proven it. He's already won a championship. He's proven he can do it on his own. Now you guys help him out. They didn't do it. Chris Bosh did his part. LeBron didn't. You know? And that's where I started noticing that LeBron either plays his way or no way. Because he tried to play into another system and he couldn't do it. You know? LeBron is not versatile like that. So, what happened after that? D Wade said, fine, you take over. I'll support you. And then they won 2 championships in a row after that. So, it's another one of the many reasons why I always loved Dwayne Wade. Was even though he was the man, he was okay with playing a supporting role if that was what was best for the team. While LeBron was such a selfish little prick that he couldn't and wouldn't play that secondary role to help his team win. It's a big difference. Great individual player, not a great winner. Great individual player and winner.
Although Wade played a part in the franchise record 27-game winning streak, and although he won 2 championships as a teammate of LeBron, there was no question that Wade was the second best player on the team at that point in his career. After LeBron James left in free agency to return to Cleveland, Wade was able to remain somewhat competitive, as he was about a 20 points per game scorer for 3 seasons afterwards. But at that point, it was rather clear that Wade's top 10 player days were long behind him. And in 2019, at the age of 37, he decided to call it quits, retiring comfortably as one of the greatest 2 guards that the league has ever seen.
Didn't he hit a game winner in his final game too? And then hop up on the scores table and fall on his face because he couldn't jump that high anymore? Was that his final game? I think that was his final game.
In the totality of his career, he was a 3-time NBA champion, the 2006 Finals MVP, a 13-time All-Star. He made 8 All-NBA teams, 3 All-Defense teams, was the 2009 scoring champion, and is one of the 75 greatest players of all time. So in conclusion, just how good was Dwyane Wade really?
Pretty
Well,
damn
if I'm
good.
being honest, I feel like Wade had a bit of a weird career. Arguably, the very peak of his career happened in only his 3rd season.
Yeah.
And I really felt like his prime didn't last very long, because throughout his mid to late 20s, he was on and off of the basketball court with some serious career-altering injuries. With that being said, I
God
definitely don't agree with Wade that he would have been in the GOAT conversation without
Really?
the injuries. I think that's a bit too much.
I know.
But at the very least, maybe the gap between him and Kobe wouldn't be as significant. Regardless, he's easily my choice as the 3rd greatest shooting guard of all time. And the recent comparisons to James Harden are straight up disrespectful. Wade is clearly out of Harden's league, simply because postseason performances matter,
Yep.
and this thing called defense exists.
Yep.
So what do you guys think? How good was Dwyane Wade in your own words? I look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comments section below. Thanks for watching as always. Make sure to like and subscribe for more basketball content, and I'll see you guys in the
Good
next
Lord.
video.
All right. I mean, I agree with most of Johnny's video here, but I disagree at the end there. Because, okay, if you were watching D Wade back then, him and Kobe were like 1-1. All right. So if D Wade kept expanding his game as he was before all those injuries, the monster that he was going to become was far more than who he already was. And who he already was top 3 shooting guards of all time. So if he would have got another 5 years to expand his game, improve his game, yeah, I believe he'd be in the GOAT conversation. No doubt in my mind. But that's just not how sports goes. You know, the fact is he did get injured. And Kobe didn't get injured until later on in his career when he got the Achilles tear. So, you know, it played out the way it did. But I believe 100%. Yeah, he would be right there with Kobe Bryant if it wasn't for those injuries. But that might be a hot take. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Yeah. And also comment on that take of Dwyane Wade versus what the hell's his name? James Harden. I don't even think they should be in the same like conversation together. Like they shouldn't be even like spoken in the same sentence. Do you think James Harden is better than Dwyane Wade? I'm not going to agree with you, but you know, say it down below if you want. Everybody, thanks for watching the video. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, comment down below what you think. And I'll see you in the video tomorrow. Peace out.